Welcome back to the C Morning Show, and today we're celebrating a special occasion that brings together adventure, leadership, and community spirit. And that's right, today is Indonesia's National Scout Day. Whether you're a current scout, an alumni, or just someone who appreciates the values of scouting, this is the day to honor the incredible work and dedication of scouts everywhere.
Yes, and from their commitment to helping others, developing new skills, and exploring the great outdoor scout embody the best of teamwork and also resilience. Scouting plays a significant role in shaping our nation and also instilling valuable life skills in our youth. Joining with us today are Assistant Scout Leader Trainer Ari Adipratomo,
yes.
or we used to call it as a scout, Kak Ari.
Kak
Yes,
Ari.
that would be correct.
Right?
Yes.
Kak Ari.
Bukan Mas Ari ya?
No. Kak Ari.
Kak Ari,
And scout volunteer, we have Diva, who participated at the World Jambore event and explored scouting in Australia last year. They will share their scouting experiences and the importance of National Scout Day. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Oh my God. Do you still remember back then where we were so active?
Let's go.
In
To be
school,
honest,
extracurricular.
That was in my primary years.
Okay, yeah.
And I still remember only the, tepuk tangan pramuka.
Exactly.
That's
the
it.
only
Right.
clap that we
Or the
remember.
simple thing.
Yeah, and more and everything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But, okay, what is National Scout Day to you, and why is it important for us to commemorate it?
Well, if I may say that the Indonesian Scout Day is commemorations of the long history of scouting in Indonesia, how the Scout also helped the independence of Indonesia. And if you may aware that actually Scout is been mentioned in the Indonesian anthem, Indonesia Raya, twice.
Really?
Yes, in the first and the third stanza.
Which, oh.
Yeah, the third stanza is not very well known
Yeah,
to
yeah.
many
The
of us.
first, but the
Only
first-
one.
Ya, di sanalah aku berdiri jadi pandu ibuku.
Ah.
So there I stood fast.
Pandu.
Yes, to lead
Oh,
for
yeah.
my mother's nations.
Yeah.
And then on the third stanza, we are also mentioning about majulah negerinya, majulah pandunya untuk Indonesia Raya. Advance the country, advance the scout for the great of Indonesia.
Okay.
So it's actually the writers of the anthem itself. He was also part of the scouting movement back then.
Okay.
Although back then it wasn't the name wasn't Pramuka,
Okay.
but Kepanduan. But the Kepanduan has been in Indonesia for more than 100 of years, and they also help in the independence and also in the process of the signing the youth pledge.
Okay.
Sumpah
Oh,
Pemuda. They were also part of the Indonesian youth movement to
wow.
strive again for the independence.
Oh, so you were saying that the late Wage Rudolf Supratman
Was
is
also part of the
part of
scouting.
Scout? Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's a fun fact. I didn't know that.
So why is it important for
Yeah.
us to commemorate it?
Okay, since President Sukarno basically established the Pramuka, it's very important because the day of Pramuka is the day where we are combined all of the scout movement in Indonesia. It used to be so many back then, Pandu Java and many others, and they're being, united into one Gerakan Pramuka.
Oh, okay.
So this is the day where the President Sukarno established the Gerakan Pramuka, provide the logo of coconut sprout
Yeah.
to Gerakan Pramuka,
Yeah.
probably Indonesia also distinct in the way of we are conducting our scouting movement.
Okay. Do you still remember what Pramuka stands for?
To be honest, no.
Praja, Muda, Karana.
Okay, Praja,
right?
Muda,
Muda,
Karana.
That's I still
Alright,
remember.
okay.
Because I remember I was so active in Scout. Because one thing that I love, because it's extracurricular,
Yeah.
that we can wear different uniforms every Saturday. We have to create, we call it yell. We have to collect our team. And I managed to be a leader that time. I still remember that.
And you
But-
traveled as well, right?
Yeah.
Like to other towns.
Yeah, we do the camp
Yes,
together.
yes.
So, but nowadays, don't you guys think it's, especially for the youngster, they're not really interested in following Scout anymore. But we have Diva here. How does the Scout movement resonate with the youth of today? And why is it is important to keep this traditional life?
So I think it's a great chance for the young people to remind what is the true value of scouting, such as teamwork, leadership, and also community service. And it also resonates with today's youth because it teaches them the valuable skills,
Okay.
and also makes them more responsible and more disciplined. And yeah, I think that's it.
So, but are you happy with the condition right now, especially to keep this alive to this generation? At the moment?
Yeah, I think it's important to keep this tradition alive because, you know, every time we commemorate the Scout Day, we also, especially for me, as someone who already graduated from schools, I was not really, I'm not really active in scouting, like, because, you know, uni stuff, how busy it can be, right?
Yeah.
So every time we commemorate Scout Day, it also becomes a chance for me to, you know, to remind that, oh, I am a scout, and how how scouting has made me become, and also like I also like to have a flashback from like my past scouting experiences with my fellow scouts, and that's like quite meaningful for me.
Those values are really important.
The value.
So how do you see this benefit for the young generation right now? What is the key benefits of it?
Well, we cannot say that they will have a direct benefit right now, instant. But it is something that is being cultivated towards the future, something that we actually will have gained the benefit in the future. I probably would like to reflect back to my own experience. When I was like a little, whenever the teacher asked me to come forward and to probably read a passage or something, I would completely tremble.
Shy.
Yes,
All right,
of course.
But
Nervous.
ever since I joined the scouting, it's completely different. Now, if you ask me if I were to provide the speeches in front of the 1,000 people, it's become something regular for me. It's become something that's not you know, very terrifying moment for me. And also at the office, people knows me like, oh, if you want to do something, Ari is a good leader. Because it's being cultivated from the time when I was in scouting. So it's still something that is being carried forward. Aside from teaching you what Diva has said, the disciplines and also the character and values, but also something that is investment for the future.
Exactly. It feels like it feels like a scout is you know, shape us to become a person with integrity. Because discipline, we have to be honest, and we have to know how to manage the team with the groups and how to be a leader at the same time.
And this is important because nowadays we are engaged more to technology, right? And these values actually help us to connect
with each other, with nature, to read the signs, you know, with a lot of signs that we learn from Scout days. Oh my God, it brings back the memory. So Diva, and I see lots of medals you have. Ari, can you tell us what is the medals for? And the bull as well.
Are those actually represent Are those represent you as a level or something?
My God, there's a lot of medals.
I may say that at my level as an adult member, I'm the assistant leader trainer. So basically, there are a basic leader trainer, basic scout leader, advanced scout leader, assistant leader trainer, and the most top is the leaders trainer. So I'm on the 3rd degree. That's why I'm using what we call it the wood badge. This was a tradition from the Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of Scouting. It is not very common in Indonesia, but it is something that we are using in the international world. And if you may say here, the wings are the proficiency wings. So given to the people who have passed the proficiency test, such as scuba diving, vertical rescue, and many others. Well, these are mostly the medals given by various countries. Because when I was part of the scouting movement when I was youth, I was part of the youth advisor at the World Organization of Scout Movement at the Asia Pacific level. And these are like more into like the qualification badge. This is pelatih, qualification badge. Yes, the basic assistant leader trainer. And this is the scout club, what we call it atas. And there's also bawah, but I don't use it today. This is the chapter badge of Indonesia badge.
Okay.
And then
Oh.
these are all the just other qualifications like the scuba diver and also the scout
So
journalist.
are those actually common to be, like activated by schools, or how did you start to know this? Like,
Yeah, in Indonesia it might be different, yeah, Diva, yeah, because in other countries scouting is more voluntary based. But in Indonesia, it become common for many schools to make it mandatory.
Okay.
So sometimes in many schools, many school kids are losing its interest because it's like
Yeah.
it's something mandatory. I don't like it. I'm being pushed.
They feel.
I just
they
have to
felt
do
pushed.
this.
I just have to do this. It's not something
I
that they
have
love.
to.
So I do personally believe that returning scouting into its glory, it has to be based on the voluntary,
Okay.
not based on the mandatory. And then yes, I came into scouting when I was in the elementary school, since 7 years old from the elementary school, and then I continue the scouting activities towards my SMP, junior high school, and also senior high school, and then I somehow got lucky, got elected what we call with the Dewan Kerja, or
Okay.
the youth council
Okay.
of the scouting movement, because the scouting movement is a youth organizations,
Right.
and they have this youth unit that basically runs the activities,
Yeah.
while the adults are supervising and providing advisory.
Oh,
I see.
okay.
How about you, Diva? I heard you joined a Jambore in Australia.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about it?
So it was when I went to Australia for study abroad, and at the time I feel like I could not go a day without any scouting activities. So because before that I also participated in Australian Jambore in like 2013. So I decided to to join the locals club, the local scouts club. Sorry, and the one that's the nearest to my uni. And surprisingly, they were so welcoming.
Okay.
And yeah, basically that's it. And so I became a part of Scouts Australia for like half a year.
Oh, okay. So since you are a younger generation of Scout, and today we are commemorating Indonesia's National Scout Day, and according to Kak Ari mentioned that nowadays younger generations to have this kind of perception that scouting is more a compulsory activity rather than a voluntary. How do you guys as a younger generation address these things?
To others.
Exactly.
Okay, so people in Indonesia often think that scouting is merely just a requirement, something you are required to do, when it's in fact it's about passion and personal growth. So for me, I think we should have the scouts who are really passionate in scouting, who really love what they do, to share their experiences, their stories about the joy of being a scout.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's become responsibility for us, like me and Ari, to to kind of erase the negative stigma of scouting that has persisted in our community for years because of this mandatory,
So how has it been so far? Since we have you guys here, especially as a representative of Scouts, what are the challenges for you guys to educate people, to ask people to build the awareness as well?
Well, it's not only happening in Indonesia, it happens elsewhere.
All right.
When I was the scout leader back in the US, it's also happening.
Oh, okay.
Youth in the US, the scout is not their top of mind choice for the activities.
I see.
Because it's something that they're quite an old organizations, and then many people are thinking that it's not something that is totally millennium and totally something that gets
Not too hype.
not too hype for many people. But again, what we have to cultivate, what we have to implement, and what we have to also inform the people is that scouting is actually a fun activities. So we are not against the technology. We are not against the youth activities. That's why I would advise for many scouting movement in not only in Indonesia but also elsewhere around the world to also catch up with the current trends. Like for the last Jambore in Korea, like they also invite some
The
girl band.
Korean.
Oh,
K-pop.
Yeah.
So
K-pop,
basically they are
yes.
tapping into today's
Yes, tapping in- and then-
trends.
yes.
Okay.
They
To make it
became
relevant.
viral, right?
Yeah, they were quite viral for that. So
yeah,
some kind of activities that
yeah.
also show that actually scouting is also something that
Are
can
still
be
relevant
cool.
today.
And still relevant and cool.
Yeah. Because that's the challenge, right?
yeah.
You have kids. How about your kids, Tommy?
Well,
Have they heard about Scout and then they're interesting, or you share your experience?
this is part of their, compulsory,
It's like
activities in
mandatory,
the schools.
right.
But they chose it. They choose to join. So I'm happy for that as well because they're more connected to their friends and the groups. But the challenging part is what's next after that.
Yeah.
Is it going to be only inside schools
Right.
or what you're having
Yeah.
here? Because what you've done is actually is good. Like going elsewhere to other
Exactly.
countries, learn their basic trainings, for example. So can you explain us about the differences between Indonesian scouts and also, other countries' scouts?
Okay, I may say that the basic are the same because we are following Lord Baden-Powell's.
So they have the same club like we have?
No, but just like some insignia, like for instance, Diva
curious
wearing.
about that.
It's okay. It's only Indonesia actually
Really?
who has the clap.
And one more thing, how many clubs that Indonesians have?
Well, it's only one. Right?
Yeah, okay.
But in the
No,
group,
I don't
what
want
she
to
meant
be
is
left
like
out.
then-
Give a
then-
clap.
yeah, that's the
I don't want to be left
nationally,
out. Right.
nationally well known.
Yeah.
But the others are also they have their own clap, their own
Okay.
yell.
Okay.
But what we can say that we are being united by the logo of the organization of Scout Movement,
Right.
and also this.
Oh, that's the logo?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
The global
The
logo.
worldwide.
Yeah, global logo.
Yep.
Okay.
And then actually we are united by this scarf.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like Diva, she's
Diva is the
wearing
green
the
one, yeah.
Australian scarf.
Australian scarf is green and white.
But there are many, actually,
Oh.
plenty. But only Indonesia who has a
Red
national
and
scarf.
white. Ah, nice.
Red and white. And then
Okay.
in the way we are dressed, it's almost the same.
Okay.
Also, this is actually not the Indonesian formal.
They're from the US, right?
It's
No.
actually Baden-Powell style.
Oh,
The founder of
The
Scouting.
founder of Scout
Yes, this
itself,
is
all right.
Baden-Powell style. And like we are also united for the leaders by using this insignia, the
Okay.
leaders trainer, and many others.
Okay.
And what makes it difference is that probably the group of age probably slightly different in one country to another's, but we are united by the Scout sign. This one,
This one.
yeah.
Okay.
This is the Scout sign.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
main duties of Scout:
Okay.
duty to self, duty to others, and also duty to God.
Oh, wow.
So
Very
this is
honorable,
Tri
huh?
Satya.
Right?
The Scout's honor,
course.
Tri Satya. And she also has Tri
Self, others, and
Satya.
God.
Okay.
And then we have also, yes, that's a Dharma or the 10 Scout laws. In many other countries, also probably around 10 or 11, depends on each country. But also, the resource is coming back to the Lord Baden-Powell himself.
Oh,
And
okay.
probably, Scouting is the only organization that allow me to go to more than 23 countries
Amazing.
in 6 continents.
Amazing.
Despite when I was also part of in my job, my previous job, I was
Yeah.
part of the Indonesian delegations for the UN
Yeah.
to negotiate about climate change. But there I
I
only
didn't know that Scouts can do that.
no, actually it's part of my job. But
Oh my God.
over there we also met some Scout representatives.
You got the chance.
You got the chance,
Oh my
and then
God.
actually many diplomats are also. Oh, I was Scout too when they saw me using this uniform, and it was like, well, Scouting is the only organization that allowed me to go to 23 countries
Amazing,
in
right?
6 continents, and they openly embrace us as their brothers or sisters.
Good.
Oh my God! So
Awesome.
happy to hear it.
All right, we'll talk more with them after the break, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.